tired.
We will now begin with an opening statement from Coach Howard and then go to question. Please use the raised hand function to indicate you would like to ask a question. When you are called on for your question, please state your name and affiliation first. Coach, can you please give us a brief opening statement, and then we will go to questions.
Well, I would say this. I am so proud of our team on how they competed today. There was a lot of possessions out there where, we could have held our head down because LSU, they made a great run, got the lead up early in the first half, but our team stayed the course. Guys really competed extremely hard on the defensive end. Tough LSU team that prides themselves on getting to the basket and also making shots from the outside. The way how we were able to move our feet, guard without fouling, and then also getting rebounds, holding them to one-shot opportunities. Yes, I know they got 9 offensive rebounds, but it was very challenging by keeping the guys off the boards because they pride themselves on getting offensive rebounds versus their opponent. But our team just threw all the energy out there and laid it all out on the line. Now they deserve to get some rest tomorrow.
All right, thank you. Our first question will come from Adam Rittenberg.
Hey, Juwan, Adam Rittenberg with ESPN. I mean, without Isaiah, you guys need people to step up. Who really shined tonight in your mind? I mean, Sean D, obviously, big performance, but who really jumps to mind for you when you look at your team?
Collectively, everyone that played. You can't fill the void of Isaiah because of what he provides on the floor with his shooting, his length, his leadership, his experience. But we knew once he went down that every guy had to step up, and our bench gave us a big lift, as well as all the 5 guys that started the ball game. They brought a lot of energy and effort on the floor.
All right. Our next question comes from Andrew Kahn.
Hey, Juwan, I'm wondering how this game kind of went compared to how you saw it, imagined it playing out. Other than, just the win, I mean, just the kind of the details of the game as far as, them making a lot of contested shots, but you guys kind of, withstanding those runs.
Yes, they did make some contested shots. And, going back and watching film on the games they played versus other opponents, they make a lot of those shots. And it was expected that, at times they're going to make some shots where it's going to be handball contests and it's going to be long threes. But, we got to make sure that we don't put our heads down and fix it. And that's the mentality it's been, all season long. Just stay in the course. When teams make runs, if you get a handball contest, we'll live with the results. Our contest rate was really good today. Looking at our defense, we held them to 39% from the field and 28% from the three-point line.
Our next question comes from Kevin McCaskill.
It's Kevin McCaskill, Jr., FP Sports out of Springfield, Massachusetts. That's a 2-part question. How does it feel to be in the Elite 8? And what did you and your coaching staff tell your players about guarding a dynamic player like Cam Thomas?
Well, we're really excited about getting the opportunity to advance. We're taking one game at a time, looking forward to our next opponent. As far as guarding Cam Thomas, knowing that he's a very skilled ball player, to be as young as he is, and his mentality, his demeanor, his mindset is next level. He looks like he's done played a lot of years in college basketball. Just his disposition and his confidence level is pretty unique. The way how he scores the ball from the outside, creating his own shot off the dribble, as well as with his body control and strength getting to the basket. All we just told our guys to make sure that we don't gift him any blow-bys, jump wall anytime he shoots it, try to stay in front. It's easy for me to say it, but it's a challenge because he's so good.
All right, our next question comes from Mike Reeds with AP Radio.
Hey, Coach, you mentioned your bench just a moment ago, but to make a deep run in a tournament, how important is it that the bench be as good as it was tonight, pretty much all the way through? How important is bench play in this tournament?
Well, every guy, no matter if you're a starter or a bench, we have to, of course, be ready to compete. And I have trust in all 15 guys that's dressing. And so they know that, when you stay ready, you don't have to get ready.
All right, our next question comes from Theo Mackey.
Hey, Juwan. I guess I'm just wondering what it is about Eli that's made him so ready to step into a larger offensive role since Isaiah got hurt.
Well, Eli has been like this, since the last year I started coaching him. He's a basketball guy, has a high IQ, very underrated in a lot of ways, offensively and defensively. But, within our family and our culture, we know what he provides, and we're very pleased with how he competes out there on the floor. At times he's looked at as being undersized, but that's why he has that chip. He can be a combo guard. At times he's our primary ball handler. Sometimes he's off the ball. There's times when he's guard, the best, whether it's a guard, point, or two guard, or a wing. He's, like I stated earlier, he's very underrated. Sometimes you look at guys' numbers and you say, okay, he deserves to be on the defensive team. Well, if you watch our games, you'll understand why we appreciate Eli on how and what he brings to the table night in and night out. He's our glue guy.
All right, our next question comes from Raphael Haynes.
Hey, Juwan, Raphael Haynes from the three-point conversion, also representing Chicago as well, man, and congrats. Two-part question. Yes, sir. Two-part question. First, I know you're proud of your team, but how does it feel to be in a Sweet 16 for you being a coach, and how does it differ from being a player? And then have you talked to your team and given them advice as far as having that experience as a player coming this far, or just in the tournament period? Have you done it already? And if not, will you?
Well, to answer the second part of your question, no, I have not talked to my team about what it's like to be in the Sweet 16. I haven't given my experience in playing in the Sweet 16. As far as the first part of your question, our guys, understand that we're looking at it as one game at a time. And, at times, if you listen to all, the stuff that's out there being written, been said, it becomes a distraction within. But within our bubble, we keep it tight. And we just stay locked in the moment and locked in the competition. So one game at a time for us.
All right, our next question comes from John Title.
Untitled from hoopshd.com, Coach. The most recent status update I've seen on Isaiah is out indefinitely with a foot injury. I was wondering if you have a further update, and/or will there be like a game time decision next week?
Out indefinitely.
All right, our next question comes from Theodore Gutkin.
Hey, Juwan. Franz Wagner really turned it on in the last 5-6 minutes of that second half. Can you talk about what he was able to bring towards the end of the game to help you guys pull out this win?
Big-time players step up in big-time moments, and Franz is a big-time player.
Our next question comes from Steve Kornacki.
Hi, Juwan. Eli mentioned that it was good for the team to see Sean D smiling. That I think he's a guy that you feed off everybody, but he might be a guy you guys feed off a little bit more. Talk about what he was able to do after the last couple games where he wasn't doing much offensively to really turn it up in this game.
Well, what he was doing does not show up in a box score, and I know sometimes in basketball we get caught up into the numbers, but as a coach, you look at film, you also look at live game action, and seeing what a guy's doing to help impact the game of winning. And Sean D has been the rock steady all season long, and so he understands that, and all his teammates do understand this, that when one guy may have it going one night, or maybe two or three guys may have it going one night offensively, but that doesn't mean that we stop playing. We still have to compete on both ends of the floor. And, tonight, Shandi had it going. And there are guys like Mike who last game had 18, today had 5. But keep in mind, I'm not the one that focused on or caring about the points. What my focus is on how you impact winning. And Mike impact winning today on so many things that he did that does not show up in a box score. And that's how Shandi has been all season long for us. He's been doing a lot of special things to help us win.
All right, our next question comes from John Borton.
Yeah, Juwan, John Borton with the Wolverine. You see so many great teams and high-seeded teams go by the wayside over this long weekend. Can you talk about the fight that your team had to have to make sure that your season's not over right now?
The motto today was, and the words that was shared with the group, empty the tank. Empty the tank. And our guys did that. Now, unfortunately for the teams that, didn't advance, they have earned the right to be here to play in this tournament. But all we do is look at what we can control. And for us, we had LSU, very tough team, give them credit, well coached, play extremely well, tough to guard. We knew our job was going to be tough and our hands going to be full, but our guys stepped up to the competition. That's why we fought competitors only.
All right, and our final question comes from Vanessa Litchard.
Hey, Juwan. LSU started off hot and in the lead, but soon Michigan took over. Can you talk about the change you saw on the court when Michigan began to take the lead?
Well, we started attacking the basket. We didn't settle for jumpers. We also got some stops. Yeah, LSU made some tough shots, some that was well contested, and that was easily where we could have, put our head down, started to point the finger. But, we talked about it leading up to this game and talked about it today about how we have to, move on to the next play and fix it, next possession. And so, when we, cut the lead to the first half, I think we went up 1, if I'm not mistaken. They made a shot at the end before halftime. And then in the second half, they got to a great run, just like the first half. But our guys kept grinding it. In each possession, we got stops when we needed it. And we also continued to attack the basket and not settle. But we also made some good shots that was open. And it's important that you have to take your open shot and trust and live with the results.
All right. Thank you, Coach, for your time, and best of luck in the next round.
Thank you. Stay safe, everyone.